Welcome to another installment of Metallic Reviews, the show where I take an honest look at the harder, heavier side of music and give it an honest rating. It's a rainy morning here in South Tennessee, so we're going to be diving into a band that has ties to the Doom world. Or is it the alt world? Or is it the Prog world? You know, this band is a little bit difficult to categorize. They went from these death doom pioneers to this alternative-ish, progressive-ish outfit that really plays on Ethereality, at least on this album. In any case, they are pretty well known, and we would be remiss if we overlooked their contribution to this year in metal. Yes, it is Katatonia, and their new one, Sky Void of Stars, released January 20th on Napalm. It's their first record in 3 years, which isn't too long of a stopgap between releases. So how'd they do? Let's dive in and find out. Now, this album, again, can be singularly defined by one word. That word is Ethereality. Truly, the listener will feel like they are gliding on wings built out of atmospheric guitar work and vocals that shimmer and shine. Production-wise, this album is among the shiniest, clearest, most polished works of metal I've ever heard. Honestly, death metal fans need not apply here, for surely they shall find themselves vomiting forth endless quips about... Well, anyway, they won't like it, so let's just put it that way. Old-school Katatonia fans won't find a return to early form here either. The band doubles down on their evolution, leaving the caverns of death doom entrenched firmly in their rearview mirror. Now, that being said, fans of more modern and accessible metal will find plenty to love here. Vocalist Jonas Renksy has one of the more unique croons around, and he shows it off with great gusto here. It's very clear that he is the centerpiece of this record, and the music is kind of written around him. Whether or not that's a positive is up to one's opinion, but personally I'm appreciative of it. I like how the soundscapes build with his vocals, never once crossing them, but always bending and weaving in support. Speaking of soundscapes, this one has one that's all its own, while paying tribute to others. Again, it's a marked ethereality that pushes the record to another level. Now, is this the greatest record of all time? Absolutely not. However, there are definitely terrific strengths about the songwriting. Colossal Shade and Opaline are a dynamic duo, and Author has a tight little chorus. Where the album shines the most is when the band writes itself into a cascading wave of this neo-atmospheric stuff, structured around, again, Renksy's vocals and the duality of guitarists Anders Nystrom and Roger Werson. Thankfully, this happens more often than not, creating a singularly unique and impressive soundscape. Now, where the album hits a dead end is in its attempts to be proggy. Album opener Austerity is a prime example of this, utilizing off-kilter rhythms and some noticeable time signature work. However, this seems to have been done just kind of for the heck of it, without any real purpose. There's no real direction to it. Then other tracks like Drab Moon and Impermanence fall into the same trap. They're not complex enough to be interesting, but they're just on the side of being offbeat enough to push into that territory. What results is this limbo that yields neither musical interest nor emotional catharsis. It's just there, and that's a pretty staunch disappointment, especially for veterans of the genre like this. The second half of the album is definitely a weight bringing the record down. As we get closer and closer to the end of the record, the cool ethereality kind of starts to slip away, replaced by something that's trying ever so hard to return, but falling just a little bit short. Now, they do succeed in bringing it back somewhat on the second half's best track, Atrium, but overall, they don't really recapture the magic of some of the record's first few songs. While there are some bright moments here, the whole thing is just drab by comparison. Now, overall, Katatonia have released an album in 2023. That's about all I can say. In the grand scheme of Metallic Reviews this year, that probably won't be enough to put it in Album of the Year contention, especially after the great stuff we saw from Obituary just last week. While there are some definite strengths here in terms of songwriting and especially production, the record's second half really puts a damper on the whole thing. Give me that first half any day of the week. The second half, with the exception of Atrium, I'm going to have to pass on. Metallic Reviews gives this record a solid, if unspectacular, 3 out of 5. Thanks so much for watching. Click like and don't forget to subscribe for more Metallic Reviews. Next week, we're going to be heading into symphonic/melodic/atmospheric black metal territory as we examine And Ocean's new album, As in Gardens, So in Tombs. I hope you'll join me. You've been watching Metallic Reviews, where I give honest ratings to honest music. I will see y'all next time.